the test score like you're getting in this class, unless you are excellent students, probably score are a lot of time you're gonna receive a lot of frustration. You're gonna get like, oh my god, this is another bad test score. This is another bad test score. Um, and the reason why I let you come back after score to work through is because a lot of you guys don't understand how to prepare something. If you prepare right, this should be an easy test. I've in the past I have student finish this test in 20 minutes. Um 20-30 minutes at most. But now it's taking longer and longer because the math skill is coming a little bit lower than before. Um so every year the math skill going down a little bit by a little bit. About each year about 10%. Every year since I start teaching. So what you need to do is you need to learn how to fix your mistakes. Yes, you're gonna get a lot of failure. That a lot of failure is not supposed to deflate you. I'm gonna tell you, I failed my first calculus test, and I did really bad. I got 53. Um, and there was no extra credit, there was no nothing. And I went up to the teachers, and teachers like she basically told me like I don't belong in her class. That's how bad it is. Okay. Now, to granted, that test was really difficult. I got a 53. Um, and it's very difficult for me to accept that. So I went to the teacher. I says, "Look, I don't I I might not belong in your class right now, but I'm gonna work towards it." So I cry a little bit about a test. Actually, I cry a lot. Um, and then I told myself, "says Look, I just have to get better." Those are the things you gotta tell yourself. You gotta get better. You cannot just be deflated if you don't stand in this class. If you say that oh, I give up, then you might as quit right now. Go to priority, sign all the classes, because don't waste people's time. Don't waste my time. Don't waste your time. You really want to lock in to focus on how to get better. Each question you mess up, then you're gonna tell yourself you never mess up again. And this is the same way you prepare for SAT. So a lot of you guys don't understand. SAT is beatable, very easily beatable. You just have to look at a question and you're gonna say, okay, this is a question, and this is how I mess up. Really pay attention on how you mess up, right? How you mess up the thing. And that's why if you're a football player, you're a basketball player, you're a tennis player, you watch films. You watch a film to see where you mess up. You gotta make sure those things will never happen again. If it happened once, fool me once, shame on you or shame on me. I don't know. But um and then fool me twice, shame on you. So or shame on me. Whatever. Anyway, you know what I'm trying to say. So um you cannot let the same problem occur twice. Yesterday, uh, Krishan coming to me and said, "Oh my God, it's so bad on the test," and he's like, "Oh, my life's over," and things like that. Um, because I'm not gonna get good school. I'm like, well, I'm not gonna be the first teacher to fail you, and I'm not gonna be the last teacher to fail you. Just so you know, in your life, it's gonna go through a lot of failure. Not only today, tomorrow, the day after. Yes, you're gonna receive a lot of failure, but the thing is, how do you get better? Is how do you react to that failure, right? We all receive failure in life. We all did bad. I told people, I read a story of Kobe Bryant scored 0 points in the whole summer. In 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 Kobe Bryant, that's Kobe Bryant. He scored 0 point, and they asked him, says, "Well, is you just playing people much older than you?" He said, "No, I play with same people with same age." But then he's the one that decided to told the gym janitor says, "Hey, open up gym at 5 o'clock, so he can go practice from 5 to 7 before the school start." And he do that for every single day for the rest of his life. And that's how you get better. So for you, you can sit there and cry about your score, or you can have a choice to say, how do I react to that bad score? and so that never happened again. So in your life, you gotta learn to do that. Whether today is my class or other people's class or any other thing, or basketball or tennis or football, whatever, you are going to go through a setback. Setback is good, and I'm gonna give you a lot of setback, but you gotta learn how to bounce back. Okay, so that's the things I would like to tell you. Um, one of the last thing is I will say is this. Um, yeah, if you look at Sky World, it's gonna be depressing. Then just look at the mistake and not fixing those mistake, and you go from there. And that's the only thing you can do, because whatever is past is past. You cannot change the past. You can change now, and you can change the future. So that's up to you to do. Okay. Um, we're gonna talk about who is the one that responsible for uh, your frustration, which is who invented calculus. Um, it's not me. I didn't invent calculus, so don't kill the messenger. It's not my fault. Okay, so the person invented calculus. Do you know who invented calculus? Who invent calculus? Who? Question mark. He's European. Somebody said John Locke. Are you kidding me? Aristotle is way too old, but Aristotle did come out. It did come out principle of geometry. Aristotle says something along the lines like 2 point you can form a line. That's the first principle of geometry. Who invented calculus? Huh? Closer, but it's not. Isaac Newton, good. Who says that?
That's not even Mr. Ye. I don't know how you spell Isaac. It's ISA.
It's 2A.
Is that?
I think it's 2A's.
2A? Yeah.
I know it's 2A's. What is
I don't know. Whatever. We're gonna say Newton. How about that?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so I put a 1. There was second person actually never gets credit. Nobody knows who his name is. And then actually Isaac Newton copied a lot of work from this particular person. So I would really like to give a shout out to this person. He's dead.
What's the first letter of his name?
L. Yes? No. That's a good guess though. I like that guess. I like that guess. Okay, his name is since nobody know, is Limbus. Limbus. So Isaac Newton. So ISS ISAAC, and Gottfried Limbus. So let me see how to spell Gottfried. GOTTFRIED.
Oh my god. Yay.
What?
No, he read it from the text.
Gottfried Limbus. It's a German name, I think. Okay, so
Why have you never heard of
yeah, because Newton get all the credit. And Newton copy like half his work from Limbus. Limbus has a big, huge contribution on implicit derivative. Newton's more. I think Newton's the other way. So, but he need a work from Limbus to complete the work. So normally people get most of the credit is Isaac Newton. Limbus, nobody hear about it. Like, for example, Pascal triangle. Like, the person who invent the Pascal triangle is actually a lot of people invent Pascal triangle before him. There's a Chinese guy. His name is Yang Wei. He invented the Pascal triangle as well, way 100 years before him. 200 year, I think 300 year before Pascal, there was people from Syria actually also find out the Pascal triangle as well. I guess he's white. He gets all the credit. I guess I don't know. So now let's ask the next problem. The next problem is, do you know the difference between heliocentric and geocentric?
Heliocentric.
Like, yeah.
So which one's which?
Around the Earth.
And heliocentric, sun is the center, right? Now, who's the one that discovered? Oh, who's the one that first introduced that?
Copernicus, right? Yeah.
Copernicus, good. Why do you know that?
We took
AP Euro, good. So let me ask you AP Euro history question.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so who is Descartes? Descartes, Rene Descartes. Okay, let me reword the question.
I know who you're talking about.
What's his famous quote? Rene Descartes. Descartes.
We didn't own
You taking AP Euro and you don't know who's what his famous quote and you don't even know?
There's no scientific revolution questions on the test.
Yes, there was.
Not much.
I want you to go back.
There
We're
was
in the same grade. It's okay.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, I want you to go back to ask Miss Phillip.
Oh.
Says, what is the famous quote from Rene Descartes? No one knows here. Descartes, yeah.
Rene
I know
Descartes.
it's what
R-E-N-E.
Yeah, Rene Descartes. But what is his famous quote? Everybody should know. Everybody probably know, but you just don't know. No.
No. I think you're right. I think you're right.
Man, Philip should be disappointed at you guys.
Hey, we
I
passed
got a
the
4.
test.
Now I'm taking it.
I got a 4. You know,
I got a 4. My was more locked in than me, and I got the same score.
shut up.
I was taking it 4 I was not paying attention the whole class.
Descartes? Nobody know who Descartes is? Famous quote from Descartes. Everybody know. Everybody heard this quote before. I think it's French, right?
What is it start with?
Huh?
Oh.
Now you know. Yeah.
Isn't it? I think it's more.
I think therefore I am.
Oh, yeah.
Oh wow.
Oh, yeah. Miss Bill did teach us that. I remember that.
I'm gonna go back to Philip says
No.
Austin Maya doesn't know what's a famous quote from thing. So I think therefore I am, yes, Descartes. Descartes posed, so back then Descartes is also a mathematician, philosopher. He's also very religious. If you did study AP Euro, like I did, he's actually super religious. He's a super religious. Well, so is Isaac Newton. So is a lot of people back then. All the science people actually very religious in like current days. So it's actually interesting. So Descartes posed a tangent line problem, and back then nobody can solve this problem. So the tangent line problem. What is a tangent line problem? So actually, he said this. At 1637, that he says, and I dare to say that this is not the only most useful thing and general problem in geometry that I know, but even that I ever desire to know. So he wished that somebody can solve this problem, and nobody did. Well, at least at that time. until Isaac Newton come in play. Isaac Newton and Leibniz, they both solved the problem almost simultaneously with each other's work, pretty much. But of course, Isaac Newton got the credit. So first of all, what is a tangent line? So tangent line problem. Sorry, I forgot a line. Okay, so the tangent line problem. Okay, so this become the first problem in calculus. Now, why is this first problem important? So Copernicus, is that how to say it? Copernicus and Kepler and Galileo. And Galileo is the one that got punished. He got locked up in a tower.
Yeah, that's true.
It's called, what's it called again? European history. If you when they put you in house arrest. No, it's not called house arrest. There's a term.
Go ahead, Mark.
What?
Yeah, go ahead.
Nothing, please.
Man, you guys are such a bad student. Have you heard a term called excommunicate?
Oh yeah.
That's oh no, he was. That's when he get.
He did.
He kicked out of the church.
He did got banned in the room
That's when
church.
he
No, he didn't. He did get.
Locked up in a house.
He did get.
Yeah, I know, but I thought he was talking about what's the term for getting locked up in how do you
They do. They excommunicate and they put you in like a tower.
They did it. He did it to the 95 Species, and he just like
Okay, yeah.
he.
Martin Luther.
Yeah, Martin Luther. He just like.
Oh yeah, that was Martin Luther. Martin Luther.
But he didn't house arrest. He just
No. Excommunicate is it's from a religious term. And the Catholic Church. Catholic Church is just put you in isolation. They don't want you having any contact with the other person. They don't want you to spread the knowledge that you discover that you against Pope, because the Pope says we are the center of the universe.
Yeah.
But he says no, sun is the center of this. We are going around the sun. But he doesn't want him to go out and publish papers.
Yeah.
So he put him in one place. I just kind of like don't let him have any outside contact, right? So yes, tangent line problem. So now you learn about AP Euro.
It's all fun.
Now, I actually learned this on AP Euro as well, because we share the same teacher. Yeah, we share the same teacher. We both had Mr. Herschel. So the tangent line problem. So what is a tangent line problem? Tangent line problem. First of all, do you guys know what a tangent is? Okay, so if a tangent is only intersect one part of the graph, or at least that small region of the graph, and it's only intersect exactly one times. So that is called a tangent line. Now, if you learn that in geometry correctly, geometry is the center. Now, the center is going to form with this tangent line. It's going to be a radius. But however, this is going to be exactly 90 degrees. That's exactly 90 degrees. Okay. So that's in geometry you learn that. But this is known as tangent line. So tangent line. Now, also, you're going to have another point here. If we go to 2 point, it's called what? This is the 1 point. If it's going to 2 points, called what? No, it's not diameter, Peter. Called secant line. So that means you got 2 points. Okay, 2 points. So right now we're trying to find the tangent line problem. But why is tangent line problem is very, very important? Because if you have something that's going orbit an elliptical way, if you really want to find out the speed of the planet, then you have to find the slope at this particular place. You need to find out the slope. And this slope is going to be a tangent line. So it becomes a physics problem because he's looking at the sky and he's looking at like a Saturn or Jupiter is going around the orbit, and he's trying to find out how fast this planet is moving. Right. So it's very, very difficult for them to find out, but they need to find the slope of that particular coordinate. So that becomes one of the tangent line problem, and that's why Descartes says that's the most useful thing, general knowledge for, in terms of astronomers, in terms of other situations. Now we're gonna go in. We're gonna say, okay, well, we need to find out what the tangent line is. So imagine that I have some type of graph. And this graph's gonna be something like this, like that. Right. And we will have this point here. And I'm gonna draw a tangent line here. The tangent line of this point is gonna be a black line here. We're trying to find the slope of this. Now we can find a slope if it's a straight line, but yeah, but in this case, how do I find it in that specific point? Okay. Now you're gonna be like, okay, well, we're gonna start with a secant line. So we're gonna create another point right here. And this point is gonna be here. And we can connect those 2 points. And this point, I'm gonna change the color to maybe blue. No man. Let me do that blue line here. So what's this line called again? So secant line. Okay, so your goal is to make sure that secant line eventually become a tangent line. Now here's our goal. Here's what Newton proposed. Newton proposed that there is a distance from this point to this point here, and we're gonna call it h. So there's a distance from there to there. And Newton's also proposed that this point, we're gonna give you some type of coordinate. Since this function is f of x, then we're gonna call this x comma f of x. That becomes a coordinate for this particular point. Now here's my question. What will be the new points here? The point of a secant line on the other side. What will be the new points? What will be the coordinate for that point? Yes. No. Good try, but it's not. Edison?
Is it h comma f of x?
Getting warmer, but it's no.
Yeah.
X plus h, good. X plus h, good. Comma what? Look. F of x. Yeah. Does that make sense? So we got this new coordinate here. So what we're gonna do is finding the slope of the secant line. So slope. So we're gonna say we're gonna find the slope of secant line. Now in algebra, we know how to find slope. It's y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1, right? Now in this case, what is a y2? Well, y2 is this one, y1 is this one, x2 is this one, x1 is this one. So can I just write in that format? Does that make sense? I take it as 2 coordinate, I plug in y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. And I'm gonna say that's f of x plus h minus f of x over x minus x, that's gonna be h. because x minus x, they cross it out. Does that make sense? Now, your idea is to take that secant line and start shrinking the distance of h. So I'm going to show you bunch purple line here. Let's assume that I shrink the h from this distance to this h prime. So that means I'm going to base on this particular point. I'm going to go up that point. I'm going to draw a secant line here. Does that make sense? And I'm going to shrink more. I'm going to shrink to here, h2. I'm going to go here. Do you see that they still intersect 2 points? So we're going to shrink the h slowly until the h becomes what? To what? The h's become what? What is this? 0. So therefore, that's why we need limits. So limits as h approach 0 of the secant line of f of x plus h minus f of x over h. That's equal to the slope of the tangent. The nice thing is, I'm going to show you here. If I look at this graph here, I'll look at the h here. H is 2 right now, right? So we find that the secant is between those 2 points, right? So we shrink the h. Do you see that? Until it becomes tangent. But when it becomes 0, it's undefined though. Do you see that slope is changed from 0.3 is 0.99? And if I shrink to, let's say 0.1 is 1.06. So, but we cannot go to 0. If you go to 0, it's undefined because 0 is on denominator. So idea is we're going to take this. We say h approach 0. Then we can find out the slope of a tangent line. So we also know this is the definition of derivative. So we're going to call it f prime of x. That means the derivative of the f functions is this. So this just means what? Means you can find slope at any given x. All you gotta do is you're gonna get an expression and you're just gonna plug in the x value. You can find the slope at those particular points. So this is known as definition of derivative. Today, you're going to take a derivative this way. I'm going to show you how to do it.
You can, yeah, slope. You can find slope.
You can find a slope at any point. You can find slope. Sorry, slope at any given points. So if you want a slope at x equal to 2, then they can find a slope at x equal to 2. Remember a parabola, right? So let's propose like this question. We say f of x equal to x squared. Your first goal is to find out find f prime of x. Your second goal is to find equation tangent line. At x equal to, let's just say it's x equal to 3. Is that okay? And the third situation says, I want you to find the normal line. Equation of normal line. So first of all, I want to find f prime of x. This is super easy. We just need to write down that f prime of x is equal to limits x approach 0 of fx plus h minus f of x. Now, today's homework, you have to do it this way. Now, some of your friends are going to be, let me teach you a shorter way. It's called power rule. I agree, but by next week, you're going to have a quiz. It's going to be on definition of derivative. But if you use power rule, you're going to get a wrong answer. So, how do I do it? Well, imagine this. This is on the side. Let's just say if for today, this is not for this function. If today is f of x equal to x squared plus 1, what's f of 2? That means you replace the x with 2, right? So it'll be 2 squared plus 1. That's equal to 5, right? Does that make sense? If you have x plus 1, what would it be? X plus 1 parentheses squared. Don't forget a parenthesis. So you gotta make sure that's called function notation. Whatever inside a parenthesis, you're gonna replace that inside a parenthesis with the x. So if I do that here, we said f prime of x is equal to what? Limits as h approach 0. What's f of x plus h? What's that going to be? No. If I replace, remember the function is x squared. What will we replace in the x with? X plus h. So in this case, will be what? X plus h what? Squared. Minus f of x, which is we know what's f of x is x squared over h. Is that okay? Now, what's x plus h squared? Yes.
What does like the prime thing mean?
Prime is the derivative. Okay, so prime means derivative. This means the derivative. That means the prime. If you take a derivative of the function, you got f prime of x. So what's x plus h squared? Somebody tell me, please. Yes. Don't kill puppy here. Now what happened when the x squared? Cancel. So if we limits of h approach 0, 2hx plus h squared over h, right? Now the problem is if you plug in h is equal to 0 at this moment, it's still going to get 0 over 0. But what can I do from here? Not split, no. Yes. Yeah, so the problem is h, right? You want to get rid of that h. How do you get rid of h? Hopefully you can factor the top. So h of 2x plus h over h, right? Now cancel. Now it's going to be limits h approach 0, 2x plus h. What do I have to do next? Plug in h is what? Plug in h is what? So it'll be 2x, right? So the answer is 2x. 2x is f prime of x. That means I can find out any specific slope. Any specific slope. I can find out slope at 1, that's going to be 2. If I can find out slope at 2, that's going to be 4. I can find out any x value. Yes.
As h approaches 0 or x approaches?
H approach 0. Now let's just say if I want to find the equation tangent line. I'm going to say this again. Everybody want to use y equal to mx plus b. I want you to quit that bad habit. Use y minus y1 equal to m times x minus x1. Because this one's so much easier. If you want to find the equation tangent line, that 3 is going to be right here. So, but so we have this is 3, right? What is the y value? What's the function? If I plug in 3, what will be the y value? No. Dumbass.
No, listen. I thought you meant the 2x.
What would it be? 9. Good. So f of 3, because we want to find out what a coordinate is. So it'll be 3 squared. Sorry, live stream. 9. Okay, so how do I find the slope? Remember, we already have to find the slope. How do we find the slope? We plug in the 3 into the derivative function, right? So now here is 3 times 2. So that's equal to 6. So y minus 9 equal to 6 times x minus 3. And that's the equation tangent line. That's it. You need to find out from original function, and you need to find out from that thing. Now, what is the equation normal line? You want to write down normal means perpendicular. Hold on. Yeah, what's your question?
Why did you square the?
Because I plug in 3 into the original functions. I also need to plug in 3 into the derivative because I want to find out the original point is f of x equal to x squared.
Oh. But then why do you?
Normal line. So the normal means perpendicular. Yes, Maya. Why the 9? Because I plug into the original function. I plug in the original function to find the y value, and I plug into the derivative to find the slope. Now, normal is perpendicular, so that perpendicular just means opposite reciprocal. Those are going to be on your SAT. So that means you flip the 6 and put a negative sign, so it'll be negative 1 over 6. It's called opposite reciprocal. Yeah, normal. Normal is normal line, yes.
What info did like the 2x squared or the 2x give you?
2x give you a slope.
Oh, so that's just the slope for.
Yeah, slope at any x value.
So that would be the slope of the tangent line for. No.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
So I'm going to show you what happened. Let's just say if I graph this line, y minus 9, 6, x minus 3. So let's just say if I do that, y equal to x squared first. Right, y equal to x squared. And then what was it? Y minus 9 is equal to 6 times x minus 3. Do you see that this point is a tangent line at that point? So you need to find out the value of the y value at that particular point, but also you need to find a slope. Now, if you do it very good, you can actually do this. You can say this is f of x. If you know how to adjust this, which is, I want students to be able to do this, but you probably not able to pick up right away. But most of my good students, they can pick it up. They say y minus f of a, which is some type of a value, right? And that's y minus y1 equal to f prime of a. F prime of a means the slope. N times x minus a. So not only that I can find this, I can plug in slope at any point. Do you see that? I can find the tangent line at any given point. Because this is y minus y1 m times x minus x1. F prime of a is the slope at any given point, giving a values. And I can just change the function. I can change to, let's just say it's sine of x, right? It actually looks pretty cool.
Oh, I'm sure it's for your students that got a 3 or higher on their exam last year.
Okay,
This is right here.
no problem. So if I play it, see that that's going to be tangent line at any given points.
So that 8 value is the slope for the tangent line.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, so it's y minus y1 equal to m times x minus x1. You need to find out the original y value. So here you can also find a normal line. So normal line is going to be opposite reciprocal from 6 to negative 1 over 6. Just flip and negative. This is on your SAT. So in this case, I want you to find the equation of this. Square root of x. I want you to find f prime of x for b I want you to find equation tangent line. At x equal to 9, x equal to 4. Okay, C, I want you to find equation normal line. So let's see if you can do that before we leave. Can you find the equation of tangent line? If f of x is equal to square root of x, can you find f prime of x? Can you find equation tangent line? Can you find equation normal line? Remember, use the definition of derivative, not a power rule. It works for all equation, yes. Except sometimes math gets pretty hard. Today you don't have a lot of homework question. Well, you don't have a lot of homework question, but it's a lot more algebra. So if I were you, like if you think you did bad on the test, come in this afternoon, come in to work through with everybody else. Okay, if you want to look at the work, it's right here. I'll show you the work, but I did record on the last period, but this is the work. It's a conjugate. So you learned that from the last, as I say, everything is out in the loop. You have to make sure you understand prior knowledge going for further. But it's on a video.
Is there any way you say you're gonna have to see it? Can I take it home?
Maybe I'll put it on WhatsApp, but I'd rather you work it here.
It's just really loud.
So maybe you need another focus.
No, you're not gonna press it.
I don't know, depending on how I feel.
I want to come after school today. Practice starts at 2:45, so I'm gonna try to come in between then and finishes at 1.
Okay, I understand.
How long after school are you here for? A while.
Today's ping pong Friday.
Okay. I'll be like probably like 15 minutes late. Back for club meeting.
Yeah, I mean, what?
It's because my English, I'm just trying to get my English wrong. Also, from that. I got the same English score on the last 7 SAT. Dude, I'm studying for it too. Can you?
So you didn't improve on math either.
I'm not even studying for math. I guess
Read better, man.
I can't read.
Are you dyslexic?
Dude, I had a speech impediment. So it's fine.
Read better.
I'm just gonna get right.